Hey guys, we're changing outer tie rod ends today on this 2010 Dodge Caravan, and we'll be using this TTX line from Mevotech. Let's open up the box and take a quick look. There's the outer tie rod end here. This is a pretty beefed up version. Actually has oversized joint on the inside of it. It is serviceable. It's got a grease fitting there. And they also include some hardware as well. You get a new castle nut, cotter pin, and by the looks of things, we also get a jam nut. So this should be pretty simple to change. You'll be able to do this at home, and I'm gonna walk you through all the steps to do it. First off, you're gonna have to get the vehicle jacked up, and then we just need to pull the front wheel. Simply remove the 5 19mm wheel nuts, and we'll get to it. Okay, so the jam nut here is going to be the first thing that we're going to need to loosen off, and it should be 22mm. So get yourself a wrench, and we're just going to break it loose like that. So the nut is most likely going to be seized on the inner tie rod end. You can see how severely rusted the threads are here. And we're going to clean all that stuff up once we get the outer tie rod end off. So once that's broken free, now we can go ahead and actually remove the nut that secures the outer tie rod end to the steering knuckle. That should be an 18mm. Now you can see how the threads here are also severely rusted that protrude past the nut. So before I go to loosen this off, I'm just going to go ahead and use a wire brush on a drill. We'll clean that up and lubricate it. Okay, so we're just going to hit this with a little bit of penetrating oil. That's going to help with the nut coming off. Also, just turn the steering so that most of this is exposed, because we're going to need to separate the outer tie rod end from the knuckle by shocking it. But let's get that nut off right now. So normally this stud, you can see how it's tapered, and it will become lodged in the taper of the knuckle. So there is actually a special tool, it's a proper tool, where it's a fork. It goes in between the stud and the actual knuckle, and it'll separate those joints. If you don't have that tool, another common practice is to just hit this with a hammer, and it should shock that and allow it to release. I don't recommend hammering right down on top of the stud, otherwise it'll probably mushroom the stud out, and then there's a good chance it won't pass through the hole. So just probably, yeah, do what you got to do. It's not a good practice to actually hit these because this is aluminum and it's soft. However, pretty much everybody does it anyways. So, okay, now we're going to remove the outer tie rod. So just turn it counterclockwise, it should thread off. And then what we're going to do now is we got to get this nut off of here. But I want you to measure the distance between the face of the nut here to the outer edge of the inner tie rod, that distance there. Once we get this nut off of here, we want to clean all the threads nice so that when you send the vehicle to have an alignment done, which you need to do after this, the guy that aligns it will be able to just make all the adjustments and not have any problems. If you leave it at this stage, which you can, there's a good chance that the alignment shop's probably going to bill you additional time to clean and free all that up. So it's really up to you. You can either pay somebody to do it or you can do it now. But we need to measure that distance if you are going to take the nut off to clean the threads so that we know where to put the nut back to. And that's an important step so that we get the alignment as close as possible to where it is now so that it doesn't wear the tires off when you're driving to your appointment. And after you change any steering or suspension, you should always get an alignment done. You'll always want to get it done as soon as possible. Don't change out tie rod ends and drive the car for a week because there's a good chance you're going to wear the tires off of it. Okay, so we're just going to take a quick measurement here with the digital caliper. And we've got approximately 36.34 millimeters. So I'm just going to lock that in. And I'll set that to the side so that we know exactly where to put the nut back. The next step we want to do is we're going to put some vice grips on the inner tie rod end to keep it from spinning. And we need to get this nut off. So now that the outer tie rod end is off, we can simply put a socket on there and we'll just impact gun it off. All right, we hit that with a little bit of lube. Got the vice grips on there. Looks like I got to go a little tighter with the vice grips. Okay, the nut is off. Now I'm going to use a die, and we're going to run that over to clean that up. I might actually hit the bulk of this with the wire wheel just to get most of it off. And then we're going to use cutting fluid and a die to really clean the threads proper. So I've got this pretty much cleaned up with the wire wheel. Now I'm going to go over this with an M14 by 1.5 thread pitch die. And we're just going to start this by hand. And we're going to run it down with the impact gun. Okay, so that should be nice and clean now, and we'll check with the nut and make sure that it threads on and off, no problem. Okay, so there was like some green Loctite or something in there, and I didn't want it in there. I want the nut to just spin free. So we just clean it out. I'm going to give it a little wash. There we go. And then we're just going to go start that and make sure that it threads on and off nice and clean. And just like that, that's how we want it, okay guys? It should just go on, no problem. And we'll just keep threading it here. We want to make sure that it goes past where it was. So that way, whoever has to align this thing has no problems. Okay, so we're going to clean off this surface now. Okay, so we did both top and bottom surfaces, which is important. We need to make sure all the corrosion and all the grease is off there and wash out the whole inside for the taper. That also needs to be clean for a couple reasons. First of all, the nut needs to seat properly on top of that knuckle. And then also on the bottom, you can see this nice seal. It's a multi-lip seal, but it needs a nice flat surface to seal against to keep moisture out of the joint and also keep the grease in. So now that that's done, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give this a little wash, and I'll put some anti-seize on here, and then we can set the nut depth to what we previously measured before we install our outer tie rod end. Okay, so we just go until we pretty much stop there. That's about where we want. And then we're going to grab our outer tie rod end. We're ready to install that, so just simply thread that on. So we're going to get pretty close here, and you'll notice either the nut's probably going to start to spin. So there. What I'm going to do, we'll just leave it about there. If the stud was pointed down, what I would do is I would just basically back off until the stud was up, put it in there, and then wind the inner tie rod in and thread it in. But now that we've got that there, all we got to do is throw this in. Get this nut started here, and we will run this down and torque it. Okay, so we're just going to run this down just until it bottoms out, and then we're going to hand torque that. It's 55 foot-pounds for the castle nut, and it's also 55 foot-pounds for the jam nut. Okay, we've reached 55 foot-pounds, and what we need to do now is take a look at the hole in the stud for the cotter pin. We need to line that up with the castellations, that's little slots. So you can see here we need to continue turning, and you always want to tighten rather than loosen. So we're just going to give this an additional crank here and try to line that up. You can see we're a little bit closer. We'll just continue. A little bit more. And I'm going to try right there. Okay, we've got our cotter pin. Now all we need to do is line up the hooked portion with the slot that's in the side of the castle nut. We should be able to just push this on so that the hook bites in and it does not want to come back out. Once that's done, we'll just simply go ahead and tighten up our jam nut. All right, give that a good firm snugging. And like I say, if you wanted to torque that, you could torque it. Okay, so like I say, this joint is greasable. It does come with lubrication already inside of it. However, we're going to give it a couple extra shots of grease in there. Just like so. And I'll just pop that cap back on there. Now, that's pretty much it for the install. If you guys want some of these outer tie rod ends or other parts from Mevotech, check out their TTX line. You can go to mevotech.com and check out their wide range of steering, suspension, and brake components. If you would like to purchase parts, you can go to partsavatar.com for Canadian residents and Rock Auto if you're in the United States. That's pretty much it for the video. If you have any questions, throw them in the comment section. If you found the video helpful, give us a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. As far as installation of the wheel, you're basically just going to tighten down your wheel nuts in a 5-star pattern. Do 2 passes of that. You should torque the wheel nuts down to 100 foot-pounds. And after 60 miles or 100 kilometers of driving, you should always do a wheel retorque just to ensure everything's tight and safe.